Miscellaneous Podcast, Episode 4, Part 2. Better Recognize. What up, everybody? This is David. I'm back with Recognize for Part 2 of the Miscellaneous Podcast, getting to know Richie Rich. How you doing, bro?
Too good, man. Just had Thanksgiving. I was too full. I was too stuffed. I'm more not. I don't know if you like turkey that much, but I'm more of a ham guy. I like ham. I go ham on the ham, and the ham. Melina made it. Our cousin. She said the secret ingredient was Dr. Pepper, and that was so fire, so juicy, so full of flavor that like you had to go back not for 2 plates, but for 3 plates. Tastes so good, make you want to slap your mama type stuff, bro. It's so good. Yeah. And yours? What's your Thanksgiving?
It was it was good, man. I went up north. I was up at a Coles Ranch with my wife's family. She got a little cabin over there, not really little, but it's a big ass fucking cabin. It fit like 12 people, and it was literally like 7 of us that went. Fortunately, I worked, so but I had good views. I think I sent you guys a picture of the view on the family chat. But I had a pretty good view, man. It was cold. I wasn't expecting it to be that cold. Like the water was already like kind of like icing over, so it was pretty cool to see. Yeah, man. But had like same ham, turkey, all that. But what I like most is the stuffing, bro. If you make good stuffing, I'm all on it. I just love that stuffing. But we had the next day, I think Sunday, we went to my mom's. I saw Moo up there, and we made panes con pavo, which is a Salvadorian dish where you can use the chicken because a lot of times you can't afford a turkey, um, but you can use chicken and you basically make like this sauce that goes with it. But I made one for your mom, bro. I made one for my godmother, for my aunts. So I started making it for them, and they were just like, "Yo, this is dope!" Because it's turkey. You put like mayo, a bunch of veggies if you want. I'm not real big on like making my food really big, so I keep a minimum. I just literally put the sauce, turkey, the mayo, um, cucumbers, and that was pretty much it, man. And I ate it like that. But Moo had one. It had lettuce, tomatoes, avocado, onions. Like it was huge. But they seemed to like it a lot. My dad was super happy because that's where he's from, so he doesn't get to eat his food that much. So having to be able to eat something that is from his hometown, he was thrilled, man. And I'm glad everybody liked it. But it was good, man. I got to see your mom. I got to see my aunts, and that was really good. Play some dominoes. Hopefully your brother told you about our epic domino match. I don't know if he did.
Nope, not at all. But what I was gonna say was, my favorite side dish is deviled eggs because you like the stuffing. My favorite is deviled eggs. I have a problem. I need like my own dozen to myself, and like I'm not gonna show it to anybody else. That's how like I love those things so much. But what I was gonna say is I heard great reviews for your sandwiches. Like everything that people were, my brother showed me a picture of it, and I was like, my mouth was all watery, and I was like, wait, 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 wait. Let me smell it through the phone real quick. Hold on, I need to assess, you know. But it looked really, really good. So I heard good news about that. And then yeah, everyone loved it. Everyone loved it. So that's good.
Yeah. So I make the amazing deviled eggs, by the way. I'll cook you up. I'll have to hook you up. I make some fucking bomb ass deviled eggs.
Why did I come
So
back just now, bro? Why did I come back? I don't even know why I came back.
no, I do,
Talk to
man,
me.
man. I don't know if you like with dill or with like the sweeter pickle, but I could get down with either one.
Let's just try. I mean, I'm down to experiment. That's how I knew I learned that like sushi and like different food that's not in our culture uh by just trying it. So everyone does everything different. Like when I went to like a down south restaurant, it was like Cajun style, like Louisiana style, and I tried weird stuff that I'm like, who makes this combination? Example, like Kool-Aid pickles, the jambalaya, like just stuff that I'm like who's making this stuff to eat? And it wasn't bad. It was not bad at all. But that's how you learn. Like you travel, well, me traveling and like trying different foods in different cultures. That's so if you have the Dell or no Dell, just do it.
Nah, I'm down, man. But let me tell you about our epic fucking Dominoes match, bro. So we're playing Bones, my dad, my brother, Moo, and then we're playing, bro. Me and your brother needed exactly 5 fucking points to win. Five, either way, because we play, by points. So we both needed five, but he would go and then I would go. So I was like, fuck. Like my dad went, my brother went, and he would go. So he literally had two chances to win every time before I even got a chance. And I'm like waiting, bro. And then he's like, I don't have nothing. And I was like, I don't have nothing. And he just kept going. Finally, bro, he put it down. I was like, damn, he's gonna win. And like he was off by like a point. And I was like, oh shit. So I like literally boom, won it right after he did that move. I won, bro. I was like, it was so intense, dude. Like Eddie, everyone was just kind of like on their edge, like who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? And then, unfortunately, they had to leave. My brother's like, oh, I gotta go, and he came with my brother, so they left. But we played another round, man, and my dad just smoked us out the water. He's like, all right, he's like, I gave you kids a chance, you gave you guys a chance to
Got
win. And
warmed
I was
up.
like, yeah, I
You
was like,
got
you
warmed up.
disrespectful. Yeah, bro. I was like, don't be disrespecting me like that. He's all like, gave you kids a chance to win, and he smoked us, man. But it was
You should
good,
have been
man.
like, you should have been like, give me that sandwich back. Throw it all up right now. How dare you? The disrespect. But
Dude,
let's
you
say
know how I know they were good, bro? The sandwiches now I know they were good. April never really brings like leftovers. Man, she brought some over. She's like, "Nah, we taking some of this shit home." I was like, "Yeah," and then that's kind of how I knew they were good, man. But so yeah, I had a good Thanksgiving, man. Hopefully I'll be here for Christmas. We don't know yet. My bad, I got a phone call. I didn't turn off the notification.
I was
Um,
about to tell you about the basketball. It was epic for us, but I'll tell you when we get ready. When you're ready.
All right. No, yeah. I want to be here for Christmas, man. Not sure if we're going to or not yet, but I kind of want to, man. Especially, it depends like what we do, if we
Yeah.
decide to go anywhere. But yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. Then they started drinking a lot, and I was kind of like, I think it's time for me to go. My
Mhm.
dad brought out like a tequila bottle. I was like, oh shit, they're bringing out bottles right now. I ain't trying to go home with a hangover, It's like I'm trying to go home and still enjoy my day. But we had a blast, man. I was playing music, just asking everybody, what's your favorite song? And I'll play them their favorite song. My tia Esperanza was singing her favorite song. I was like, damn, you like fucking corridos? I didn't know you like corridos. So yeah, it was good, man. But yeah, I wanted to play ball, bro. But what happened with you guys' basketball game?
So what had happened was, we the idea was just to go. Harvey invited me to go to the park with him. His youngest daughter, Leah, is about to join soccer. Harvey had experience playing soccer back when he played like in high school for all those years and stuff like that. So he was going to show him like what he knows and just basically catch up to speed. And we went, and then they ended up taking Eli. Eli wanted to play basketball. There was a basketball at that same park. It was in Peoria. It's Braywood Park. If those don't know. Anyways, we go and then they call Luis, and Luis wants to go play ball. So it was Eli and Luis. I was flying my drone, so I have footage of all of this. I think I already have it on my YouTube. I'm not sure what leak it is, but it was I made a flyover with my drone because I was like, I'm gonna take a picture, a video of them doing their soccer thing. It ended up being basketball, and then uh, Harvey's girl Antoinette, she was walking around, so I just picked up them, and then Luis showed up with his family, and then they called Joel, and then Shamu showed up, and then little Nas was playing. So now we have 3-on-3. And I was like, fuck it, let's play. I'm in Crocs. I don't care. Like I'm slipping and sliding, but we'll make it. Anyways, we're playing. It's me, Moo, and Eli. So Eli got the brothers in this bitch. My brother has a hurt foot, so he can't move as well. I'm in Crocs, so slipping and sliding, but I'm like, I'm still competitive. I'll still play. And we're going against Joel and Luis and Little Nas. So I'm like, it's cool. I'm gonna just get Luis and Joel to cover me and Eli, and I'll just throw the rock up top to Shamu and let him like just do a layup. He wouldn't make any layups, so it was hard. It was hard to play. So I was like, well, he's still hurt. Whatever, he's still getting better. But that was really frustrating. I was like, Eli, I don't know what else to do. But like, Joel outruns me. He's faster than me. I just have good endurance. He gets tired, I can keep going. So I have to wait, kind of like Muhammad Ali. Just keep taking punishment, and then when they're tired, that's when I shine. But anyways, we get to first 15, course 15. The other team, Luis, Joel, Nas, made it to 14. We were at 9. At that point, I was like, bro, fuck this. I'm not getting sweaty and nasty just to take an L. Hell no. We push it to the limit. Pushing it. Shout out to Rick Ross. But we're pushing it, and we make it to 14-14. And in my head, I know Luis. Well, I felt like Luis is not a very good closer. Like taking the final shot, buzzer, he'll fail. He don't have that mindset in my head. So luckily we let him shoot, and he wouldn't. He didn't make it. But we got to the. That's when we got to the 14-14. So we're neck and neck. It's their ball. It's no, no, it's our ball. I pass it to Shamu. Shamu fumbles it. Nas gets the ball, shoots it, and he makes the game point.
Dang, that was
Good for him. That's good for the
he
team. That
beat
was
his
good for
pops. Hey.
exact. No, no, it was him and his pops and him and Joel. No, my bad. And
Oh,
Eli
okay,
had it.
so
So it was
okay.
me, Eli, and Shamu. So he got the last shot. I was like, I bet that kid's confidence gonna be crazy pretty soon. Like that's good. That's good for him. So and then for it being like we didn't plan on playing basketball. We didn't bring stuff for playing basketball. It was a fun game overall. It was an intense game going neck to neck, and we caught up. And how we did that, who knows? But that was the game we had, and not dominoes, but that we were neck to neck like that. Okay. When you said that, it reminded me that we were neck to neck in basketball. And I have a video that would just basically show us flying over. But yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know if you saw Louis'
Yeah,
story. We took a picture of all of us. Yeah,
yeah, I
that
did.
same day.
Yeah, yeah, I saw it. I saw it. He messaged me. So oh, it sounds like a bunch of excuses. I'm like, I'm up north. What do you want me to do? I was like, but I would love to do that. Last time I played with Luis, we played 1-on-1.
He's
Uh,
good.
yeah, I beat him.
He's good.
Uh,
Oh,
it was funny because I was like, bro, you're younger. I'm old already because it was like literally like a year and a half ago maybe when I started playing again.
mhm.
And same thing, just like old habits, right? I was like, I don't like to lose. So I was like, whatever, like let's get this. But I beat him, and I was like, man, I'm like, you too young to be losing to me, you know. But that's the thing. Like I found out I have a tear on my rotator cuff. I have two tears because it's not healing. So I'm gonna go get it checked. But so I can't even like fully extend to shoot, even though I'm left-handed. I need my right hand. And I was like, if I were to play right now, he'd probably beat me. And I was like, nah, I'll beat him one-handed. But but yeah, man, it's just for me is I think it's a psychological thing because we used to play a lot when he was younger, and I would always win. I always beat them. So I think it's just psychological. Like he's just like, oh, he's good, and I'm like, nah, bro. Actually, if you just defended me this way, you'd smoke me because he's a good player. He's a real good player. Like he could play. But it's just a psychological thing. I'll start poking his stomach, or I'll start, like bothering him. But like you said, it's the closing part. The closing part for him is
it's a
like
mindset mostly.
and I'm like, nah, give me that shit. It's either gonna go in or it's not gonna go in. Just give it to me. I'm gonna throw it up there, But yeah, man, I'm gonna start playing again. I'm going this weekend coming up. So, fun fact before we continue, I started a new project. So now I'm being off on the weekends again. So I'm gonna have Saturdays and Sundays off again. Hopefully, it's a permanent switch. Because I didn't know it was gonna happen this fast. But basically, my job, we started a new department, and we're basically trying to get our job to expand globally. So it's gonna be we're gonna start off in Colorado. By the way, I basically recruit for nurses, CNAs, doctors, anybody in the medical field. We do contracts for them. They're 1099 contracted, so I could send you to anywhere for like a month or so, and they pay you obviously a lot more than what you would make at going to a regular job. Um, so yeah, we're trying to expand over to Colorado. Then we're gonna try to go to New Mexico, um, Dallas. So we're trying to expand it. So now I am going to create and establish the new department for the marketing department team. So it's basically gonna be from scratch, working its way up. A lot of work, um, but obviously that comes with more revenue, and I was like, yay for that. But when they told me, like build your own schedule, do your own build it how you want to build it. Like make your imagination run wild. I had like 50 ideas already. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try that. One of the things I want to get into is like digital marketing. Um, something that we don't really touch. Be digital marketing. I'm buying the. I'm buying the. I'm gonna ask my brother to sell me his press, because I want to start doing like my own stuff, and the other day I was like, man, I'm like, instead of having him like do it, because he's like, oh, can you buy the paper or can you buy the ink? And I'm like, well, might as well just buy it and then I can buy it and then I'll just do it myself. So I just to brand it, I got permission from the owners to use the logo. So I'm gonna start doing my own branding, my own thing. Like I'm a walking billboard. I was like, people don't gotta worry about me like going and getting shit faced and giving people wrong names. So I'm gonna start doing that, man, and hopefully we can get into. She wants to be in Colorado by the end of March or April next year. Um, so it's a big, big step, big responsibility. But I fuck with it, man. I get to create it, appreciate it. I get to create it, man. From the floor down. Some of my ideas might not work, but it's okay. Um, but it is what it is, and I don't know. It's cool. I got the news yesterday actually that they went with me. There was a lot of people that they wanted, but I was like, cool, appreciate it. I'm like, something inside me was like, well, either way, I work from home, so like, what do you want me to do? So they went with me. We worked out a good deal that I thought it was a good deal. So we went out to celebrate yesterday, and yeah, man. So that's kind of what's going on right now. Good Christmas present, I guess, for myself. And I got a couple other business transactions that I'm doing with some people that might get me into the whole, getting my food truck and all that sooner than later. So a lot of different things are coming, man. I just got to make sure I align myself with the right people, right attitude, and the right mentality, man. That's the biggest thing, the right mentality. Because if you're not hungry, I ain't got time for you. Um, but yeah, dude, a little bit of off track, but it's kind of what I got going on, man. And I was excited about it, and obviously it brings more peace at our house, basically. But yeah, so that's it.
Congratulations on that, first of all. That's awesome. And marketing is fun because you get, like you said, you get to create. And what most businesses are doing when they're marketing is they're testing to see what works. So I would recommend you fail and you fail fast. Because once you figure out what does work, you just repeat, and then it just becomes consistency. It should be to a point where it's boring because you're doing it again and again, but it's just a vehicle that's just generating you guys more money, and that's going to your pocket too because you're already increasing your revenue off or your income off of just getting that project alone. And you get the weekends off, bro. That's dope, dude. I hope your work and a family life has a great balance. That's awesome. Congratulations on that. But if you need ideas or want help with digital marketing, because I am a social media marketer, I do the TikTok shop for affiliates. I can help with either camera work or whatever you need. If you need me, just I'm extending that out there for you, and we'll figure out the details later. But
Well, fun fact, I do have a establishment that uses our staff in Tucson. So we got people that go right now to Tucson, Prescott, Paradise Valley. Um, so we are expanding basically, and I get to right now I want to build it. I want to make sure that we're positive on revenue, and then I'm gonna start adding people. I'm gonna start adding my staff. You know, and that's what creates movement, right? I want to have the right attitudes, the right people. um like I talk about like Sammy all the time, right? I think Sammy would be amazing if somebody gave him a chance, right? A chance to be great. you know um I think that he doesn't see that himself, but just getting to know him, and like that's why I love gaming, because you get to really like talk. I think that he would be somebody that if you push him in the right direction, he would be unstoppable, right? I think he has that ethic, right? And that's what I'm thinking about. I thought about my wife's nephew. Like he used to go with me when I was in facilities, bro. He was stock, do inventory, like do all this. And I'm like, these are young minds that eventually you can evolve them. And why would I be like, yo, like I'm not gonna give you the opportunity because I want somebody that has experience. No, I want you to learn, and I want you guys to have a gift. Like you guys have to have that gift, to make things really work. And somebody like Sammy could be like, "Yo, man, I'll pay you, $700 a week. That's a lot." And be like, I'll give you $700 a week. You know, with potential of hitting your incentives, right? For you're in marketing, you're in sales. Like you hit your incentives, you're making more money. The more incentives you hit, the more money you make. The more contracts you get, the more money you make. So it's kind of like like your base pay, you count on getting $700 a week. Which comes out of 2,400 a month. I'm like, it's just that, and then you work your tier, right? You're working your tier. Like now I'm this tier. Okay, cool. Now you're making 1,000 a week. Now you work this week, you're making 1,500 a week. So it's kind of cool that I get the opportunity to do that, man. The bad part about it is if they don't succeed, right? If you give them all the tools, you give them everything you need, and they still, I've been there, and you're still like, yo, man, it ain't for me. This ain't for me. I can't do this. Um, Being able to sit down with somebody and be like, hey, man, like we tried it. Not that I don't like you. It's just this is not what's best for business right now, and trying to find something else because like you're not a good marketing doesn't mean you probably won't be an asset somewhere else, right? And trying to find that outlet to be like, yo, I want you to succeed. But that's why I want to have different avenues, man. I wanna see if I can get the food truck going and just have different avenues that people could fall back on. At the end of the day, that's what I want to do. Like I see a lot of potential in people, and unfortunately, like some of the people that I know that are really good, like they either have like records or they got, caught, back in the days, like, they got caught selling or whatever it is. Doesn't mean that they're bad people, right? It just means that they got caught, or they just weren't in the right place. They haven't grown up yet. And I want to give that opportunity to people that have a lot of experience, man. Like one of my best employees that I used to have, he couldn't get a job nowhere because he had a record. And my job was to hire people, so we kind of hit that. Like I was like, man, I won't even put that on your record. He never called off. He showed up to every single shift. He would go above and beyond. Like I'd be like, yo, man, you don't nah, man. If you need somebody, call me. Like he didn't care when it was. You know, um, he started his own business. He's a trucker now. He does trucking. But he's like, you gave me the opportunity, and he's actually one of the people that I want to see if they want to come on here, and be like, hey, but like he does like trucking like everywhere. Like he goes to different states, and so it's kind of cool to see, right? But you had to be able to give people that opportunity, and that's eventually what I want to do, man. I want to have a lot of little things that I can give people opportunity, and with this, if I do it well enough and smart enough, I could literally have marketers working for me, and me just kind of dealing with like let's send food to this company, or let's do this, or let's handle little problems, and it becomes like that, right? And they're looking for somebody to take my spot. That's what it's all about. You always train your replacement. That's what I always say to people. You always train your replacement. um and hopefully we can create that, man. But I want to have a lot of little businesses and see what happens, man. Fuck it, why not? you know
Why not? What's stopping us? That's the choose for me. What's stopping us? What's stopping you? Let's go do this. Why not? What's stopping you? Let's go find out. Then you're not gonna know. One thing I follow is empiricism. That's kind of like the idea of like nothing's works in the real world. Nothing is real in the real world unless you try it out. You have to see for yourself. And it's crazy to me because I'm like, maybe I could go down this route with you because I'm saying this because I went to collections. I'm used to a tier program, getting paid as well as meeting a quota and then surpassing it and getting different tiers. And then I already do digital marketing. I started off now doing this TikTok stuff for it. But what if I go into this with you with everything I already have with those experiences and bring it over here? Because like I said in the last, if you guys haven't seen the last podcast, there's multiple ways to get to your destination. The analogy I used again was Walmart. You want to go to Walmart, you can take the back roads, you can take the alley, you can take a bike. All those little experiences that I had to transfer over here, I mean, it could work. I don't see why it wouldn't. And one way to find out. But yeah, that's one thing that's really cool that you, let's go back to, that's cool that you're going to create that because life is about creating. Make thou in thy image. God's the creator. We also can create. We can get a gun and create chaos and like shoot up downtown, or we can create a shelter and feed the homeless. We can create. We have that power, the power of free
Yep.
will, and you get to decide. Because all God's doing is creating. I feel like this is my personal opinion. All God does is create. What you decide to do with it, as they made you in his image or their image, you get to pick. So it's good and bad and everything. But mindset is very, very huge because you a lot of people get in their own way. You get in your own way from your own success off of insecurities you had, what someone told you back in the day. Teacher told you you weren't good enough, coach told you whatever, and then you get that mindset and you bring it along with you to your future, to where you're at now. When that belief or that idea no longer serves you, it's very, very important to get like a modality like meditation, or like I was saying before, neuro linguistic programming or hypnosis, psychology, whatever is your tea, whatever it is, religion, to get help clean out your past thinking and update your software, your mentality, update your mentality to where we're at now. Because everything is reacting to what's happening now, the current climate. It's like that back in like music, for example. When I'm saying I make music, I don't make music that makes sense, that's relevant like back in the 90s. Is what's relevant now. It's the current climate that we have to address. But yeah, one thing I wanted to get into, dude, is I had little notes, dude. I had little notes that I made because I was all like, what did I talk about last time? I felt like, what should I talk about? What did I want to talk about this video? And we just end up just yapping and stuff like that. It's just easy for us. But what is it? One thing I want to get in is my recent one of my resolutions last year was to learn how to make videos. That's what I've been doing this whole year. And then it started when I went to my trip to Hawaii, like I said before. Another thing that I picked up, I think the year before that, was I met this teacher, this doctor, this herbal medicine person, um, and his name is Dr. Yaki Awaken, and he introduced me to what's called the fruitarian diet. That's what I've been on recently. Fruitarian is high fruit consumption diet. So, like if you're 60, 70% fruit, eating fruits, um, I like this diet a lot. I'm going to go back to my whole spiel here. So, I believe us humans are from the primate family. We have opposable thumbs, no fangs, no claws, no manes, nothing like that. And things that in our species, our family would be stuff like orangutans, monkeys, chimpanzees. I've never seen a monkey hunt down a deer, make a fire, and grill a steak, add some paprika on it. They don't do that. I believe that they're more uh, plant based. They are plant based. And most arguments people have towards me is like, well, where do you get your proteins from? Well, whatever you're eating, pig, cow, whatever you eat, where did they get their protein from? From the plants. So if you cut out the middleman and go straight to the source, it's a better deal, as opposed to going through the cut version, the middleman, and it's been processed already. It's not as good. If you want to take like drug terms, you get from the supplier, it's more pure. If you go from a dealer, they're probably going to cut it up, add some stuff to it. It's no longer as good. So you cut out the middleman and go straight to the source. That is huge for me because 70% of our body is water. But keep this in mind, 90% of every cell in our body is made out of water. Now, I'm not saying drink water from water bottles because water from that is too clean. It's in sponge mode. It's robbing you of your minerals, nutrition, your vitamins because it's so clean. It's taking it with you. A lot of people have such experiences where they drink water bottles and they're still thirsty. Well, the reason why is because what causes hydration is those minerals and the nutrition and the vitamins that are in the water. The water you could be drinking is probably better for you would be spring water, Arrowhead water, whatever you like. Everest is good water too, but the most potent form of water for the human body is H3O2. H3O2, you guys can look that up. And that is what comes from a fruit. You ever bite into like an apple and you see the water, but it's more gelatin. That is H3O2. Now, with that kind of water, not only does it bring moisture to your body, but it brings what? Vitamins, minerals, nutrition. At the same time, this thing has high fiber. which is at the same time cleaning your body as it's nourishing your body. Make sense? So there's that part, and as it's doing that at the same time, it has high fiber, and you could basically just add it to any diet you want. You could even add it to whatever diet you're already doing. Now, some people want to. When I bring this up, which when I do bring it up, people bring up, what about the keto diet, the keto? Your body's going to adjust the environment to the environment. Your body has to, because survival is part of our DNA, our makeup here. So if all you have is meat, it's going to convert its body to only consume meat. But your stomach does not make the acid hot enough to break down meat. Have you ever left meat out, like gone on a vacation or gone for the weekend? You left meat out by accident, and you come back and it's all moldy and it has like maggots and stuff like that. Well, if your body can't break down the meat, what do you think is happening in your stomach? So parasites is huge in the American diet. Parasites are huge in the American diet. When another thing I'm going to go into is I also practice intermittent fasting. So you can do whatever works for you. 12 hours. I do 16 hours. We've done 24 hours, me and my brother. My brother's gone crazy and gone like 48 hours, 72 hours. I'm just saying you don't need all that, but you could. But if you do a 72-hour fast, your body will create a whole new, on a cellular level, it will create a whole new you on a cellular level. So you'll be like, that is new. Basically, it's the reset button, and you're back to factory settings. So please research that and please look into that. I'm really, really huge and advocate for that. What I was going to say as well is, so back to the fruits here, um, and it's anything you can eat. It's anything. And what's huge is like I gotta make it like relevant to the person I'm speaking to. So let's say like I'm huge on berries. Berries, women, for example, like beauty. Berries are high in what's called antioxidants. Now, let me make that, those who don't know what that is, it's basically anti-aging chemicals. You'll look younger. That's how our family looks fucking young as fuck. You know what I mean? We're like in our 30s and 40s, and we're like, are you serious? Yes, because it has anti-aging property. On top of that, berries are so huge, it brings oxygen to your body, as well as again nutrition and fiber, good for your brain, and for I guess makes you younger looking, and for the women, it'll handle your pH level down there. And it's all natural. There's no more pills that don't have fiber in it. So your body consumes like 10% of the pills and then just dumps the rest of it out. So there's that. I wanted to touch on that because I was at the last video. I think the last video, I was like, did we say anything that was valuable aside from the psychology stuff, which is at the end? I was like, bro, like I should have talked about the fruitarian diet. So I believe your body is, of course, 70%. Well, we know 70% water. Every single cell is like 90% water. This is the most highest form of water. And I'm not even religious about it. I'll still go to Burger King and I'll handle a Whopper. I'll still go, we go to get tacos. I'm going to handle a taco. You know what I mean? But nowadays it's more like throughout my week, 60, 70% of the week, mine's more vegetarian type style, high in fruits, high in vegetation, whatever you want, plant based. So I'm not religious about it. And then I talk to your sister. Every time I talk to your sister, dude, yeah, Judy, she's like, "Dang, you look good, Richie. Wow, Richie." And then she's like, "Every time I see you, you're getting smaller." And I'm like, my skin is trying to catch up because I lost so much weight. Like I have loose skin. So gym would be important too. Exercise is very, very important. Let me tell you why exercise is important. Important. And I'm just not saying it's a gym. You can go dancing. Put some music on and put some Celia Cruz and dance for like an hour or whatever, 20 minutes, whatever you want. There's a system in our body called the lymphatic system. That's the sewage system of your body. Your cells are just like you. They eat, they breathe, they poop just like you. Their toilet system, their sewer system, is the lymphatic system. Our blood is pumped through a heart. Our oxygen through the lungs. The trash, the sewer system, only is pumped through movement. So if you at a work at home like we do, like work at home or work at a desk job or not very active, don't get your steps in, you're backing your own self up. When you're backing your own self up, your body finds other ways to get rid of the waste. Now you have acne. Now you have, you're sick because of so much mucus and plaque that's built up in your body. And it all comes from just simply just being a little bit more active, being more plant powered. And if you want to introduce fast, it's absolutely a great plus as well. But that's all the three things that I basically focus on, not even religiously. It's just like, oh, sleep is important too. It's important because you rebuild. But honestly, when you're eating, it's doing the three processes, which is ingestion, the digestion, and cleansing. But most people, another thing I wanted to say, cheers out. So if you want to put your hands together like a clap, right? And then keep them together, ball them up a fist, that's the size of your stomach. Anyone can do this. That's how your stomach. So if you're looking at your stomach, and let's just put like, I don't know, Olive Garden. It's the most famous restaurant. Um, Olive Garden. That should not be taking, the pasta, chicken Alfredo, plus a side salad, unlimited breadsticks, a cheesecake, a glass of wine with a Coke, and et cetera, et cetera. And then even after you eat, you're gonna go snack on some like Takis, snack on whatever you want to snack on. Your body doesn't have time to rest and heal and cleanse itself. And on top of that, it pulls energies from other organs so that it can help break down the food. So as you're doing that, you're basically making your body weaker and weaker and more deficient because you're just eating way too much. The American diet is just way too much food. So I want to bring all this to your guys' attention so you guys can at least tell somebody who needs this, or you can do it yourself. And I'm again empiricism. I don't speak it unless I know it's true. So I went and tried it myself, and great results. I have great results. Great results. What do you say about sleep?
No, I think it's important, man. So normally, like me, I'm lucky if I get 5 hours of sleep, and if I get 5 hours of sleep, it's a great day. But I also know that it's important, man, to sleep. One of the biggest things is I work out every day. I work out every day. I have my gym at my house. Um, which I'm thinking about posting some videos of my workouts. But after my surgery, I had to change my workout routine. I had to change the amount of weights and all that, which I'm getting back, little by little. But one of the biggest things that it wasn't even a doctor, it was like the assistant. He was like, bro, if you get at least 8 hours of sleep, he's like, you'll notice that your body tone, your body definition, is gonna get better. He's like, because he told me how much sleep you get. I was like, 4 or 5 hours, depending on the day. He's like, aim for 8 hours. I've been trying that for like the last 3 weeks, bro. And I cannot, for the life of me, sleep for 8 hours. I can't. Like, I'll go to bed. Let's say I go to bed at 10. By like 3 in the morning, I'm up. And I'm like, no, like I want to go back to bed. So I just lay in bed. Um, but there's been twice already that I've slept over 8 hours. I wake up, first of all, I wake up feeling like tired and lethargic. But after I like wake up, I'm like, oh man, my back feels pretty good. Like, I'm like, okay. But however, when I was in the hospital, all I did was sleep. And when I got out, I was like, man, I'm like, I feel like tired, but at the same time, I'm like, I feel like my knee don't hurt, my ankles are feeling okay. I'm like, all right. But for me, it was like trying to implicate that because I eat fruit. I love meat, so that's just my thing. Like I enjoy meat, but I eat a lot of fruit too. Watermelon, love watermelon. Um, Mangoes, kiwis. Like I eat my fruit. I know how important it is to break down the fibers that are in there. They people worry about sugar spikes, but it's a natural sugar spike. Like it's better than
Well,
having a sugar spike with like a fucking Snickers bar. Like I'd rather eat an apple, right? It gives you more energy. It gives you more energy. It gives you more like things to more mentally. You're more alert. Um, but yeah, man, I've been trying to get some more sleep, but I have been getting into a little bit of like meditation. But it's hard, man. Like it's hard when you've never done it and you have a racing mind. Like I can't sit and be still. Like I think about stuff 24/7. Um, and I was trying to meditate and had the music going, and I had to turn the music off because then I started thinking about like beats. I don't know, it was just crazy, but it was just like my mind's constantly racing, and I'm like, yo, I don't have the ability to be calm. I've learned that shit. And I was like, oh man, I'm like, so now I like take my deep breaths and like focus on that. And but I've been trying to. I'm up to like 6.5 hours. I could probably sleep, but I want to get up because Moo told me he sleeps like at minimum 8 hours. I'm like, God damn. I was like, okay. I'm like, and I'm like, I got to get into that routine because your body needs that recovery time. You're stressing it out all day long. It needs that recovery time. But that's what I want to say about sleep, man. I'm trying it, and I don't know if anybody else has like that mind where they can't sleep more than whatever. But it's just because that mentality, man. I was always like, go, 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 go. And even sometimes when I'm asleep, bro, I'm like, hey, what if I do this or what if I do that? And I told my wife that I'm like, yo, I was sleeping and shit. And I was thinking about how to make. She's like, how are you thinking about something while you're sleeping? I'm like, I don't know. Just I had some thoughts, and so training a busy mind to be calm, man, and meditating, I think is a great thing that to try to learn because I can't say that I do it. I'm learning how to do it. So, but yeah, I just want to say about sleep, man. It's important to get your sleep.
What I was gonna say was meditation is good because you notice how much like well that's what a lot of people who are anxious have the issue with the overthinking mind. And being able to detach from that overthinking mind makes you present of in the moment, which is one thing that I really, really enjoy. I was saying when I was going on trips before, like I would just think about the next moment, the next thing I'm going to do, the next thing, and not really sitting in the moment. It's very good to enjoy the moment and be able to calm your mind down because there's so many ideas that you can like pull from at this point that are just generating ideas and thoughts and frequency because your brain is like a radio receiver receiving signals all day long and being able to attach to that so that you can really focus on what is important to you or what you want to focus on is a huge superpower because no one's being taught that, especially on this side of the world. On the eastern side of the world, like this is normal for them. This is like how it should be. But for us, we're not being taught that at all. Keeping us in a constant state of stress is good for money. It's good for business. And being able to pull on your insecurities for marketing. But I wanted to go back to the sleeping thing. Um, you were saying that you can, I'm a lucid dreamer. I can like think when I'm having a dream, I become conscious that I'm in a dream. I'm like, I've had some weird dreams where it's like, I'm like, we're riding on a freaking desert mountain and I'm on a donkey and everyone's hooded. Everyone's hooded. And then I just become conscious in that dream. And I'm like, what the heck? And I'm like, where am I? I don't know this, but I've never been here before. What is this place? And then I take my hood off and they're like, they called me something. I don't know what the hell it was, like brother something. I was like a monk or some shit. And I was like, oh, I can't feel my body. I can't feel the wind. Oh, I'm dreaming. I don't want to be here no more. I'll see you guys later. And they were like, what? And I literally just took off flying. I took off flying on them and they're just like, what? I was like, oh yeah, this is a dream. This is a dream. This is a dream. But yeah, going back to the food part, you're saying high in fiber. Again, I want to reference my sources, which would be Dr. Yaki, Awakened. I used to watch, I still watch vlogs of like, I watch vlogs basically growing up, just seeing how people experiencing stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I want to do that one day. Well, going through vlogs, I end up going to like a vegetarian vlog or like what I eat in a day as a vegetarian. And you know how the algorithm works. You're like, basically, they feed you more and more stuff, what you already watched. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I'm watching videos of these people who are like 70, 80 years old, 90 years old. They still dance. They still can do 100 push-ups. They still can do 100 pull-ups. And that's, and they look young for their age. So if you want to look into that, you can look up those people and see what they eat in a day. Vegetarian is good. It's good too. It's also plant-based. I would recommend a fruitarian, which is raw fruits in its natural state because, for example, like a lion eats raw. When it kills a deer, it don't like go bring it back, make a fire, pepper, salt, all that shit. It eats it raw. Same thing we should be doing with the plants. When, like a monkey. Monkey finds a banana, he just pulls it down and just bites right into it. Raw, raw. So that's probably the best route, but everyone's different. All of this is just advice. Do what the fuck you want to do. Life is short. We're here for a short term, not here for a good time, not a long time. But that would be another foundation of what Richie is like the diet, the music, the mindset, psychology. What was your biggest takeaway from our last podcast?
Man, my biggest takeaway was just how you said there's different avenues, man, to get to a destinations and just everything that like I said, like I think that you have that same mentality that we're not just brought here to do one thing. Like we can create and do many things. I think that that's something that people don't realize, you know. And then for me, I've always felt that way. Like I don't want to just be able to do one thing. Like I want to be able to be like, I did this, I did that, I can do. And I think when you're trying to do it not for the money, you're just trying to do it because you enjoy doing it. Like you're never going to be like, I have to go to work. Like I hate that feeling to be like, man, I have to go to work. No, it's like cool. It's just another day. You know, it's another day that I'm gonna live my best life. And like one of the things that you just said right now, it's like you can choose, you know, to get a gun and shoot up downtown, or build shelters and feed the hungry. And I told you, like when I make my pozole, if everything over, I'll go feed the hungry. Like it it's something that people I hate. I love social media, but I hate it because a lot of people do it for the social media, and I'm like, nah, like I don't post it because I don't want to do it for the social media. I do it because it's one, it's feeding somebody, and two is if I was ever to be in that predicament in my life, I would love for somebody to be like, hey, let's help this guy get a plate to eat. You know, um, but you know, some people choose that route, and some people actually end up in that route. I've met both. You know, there was a guy that I had given $20 to, and then I saw him get into a fucking, like it was back then. It was like a 19 or no, like a 2000 Camaro or something. I'm like, oh hell no! It was parked behind like a Burger King, and I had just given him like it wasn't $20. I gave him like $10, and like I was like cool, and I think I went to go get like a Whopper, and I was like I'm gonna get him a Whopper too, and I gave him the Whopper, and he was like, oh thanks. Got in my car, and as I was leaving, he walked to the back and he got in a fucking Camaro, and I was like, yo. So, you know, me being me, I was like, dude, what the fuck? He's all like, bro, he's like, this is all tax free. He's all like, I have a house, I have a mortgage, I have kids. He's all like, all this is tax free. From that day forward, bro, I'd rather give you water or a meal than money. Because I was like, oh, hell no. You know, but I've also seen people that, especially during the holidays, they go out and they be playing the guitar. They have their little ass kids out there in the cold, and they're asking for money. Like that bothers me, you know, because I'm like, you're basically exploiting your kids. Like it's hard to trust that, but you can never be like, hey, I got you a hot cup of chocolate for your kids. You know, here's the hot meal, like whatever. But I've been told before, like, no, I'd rather have the money. I'm like, deuces, you know? Like it's hard to trust everyone, but I want to be able to do the right thing and help people. Like that's the biggest thing. Like I want to help people. And having social media is a great way to do it, but at the same time, you got to be careful when you do it. You know, because like I've been doing it with April for 4 years, you know. But if all of a sudden, like I got the podcast, I'm gonna start doing my food, and then people start seeing videos of me doing that, is it to increase my popularity? No, it's just I've always done that. So why bring that public, right? But one of the biggest things that I take, man, from you is that ability to just love yourself. I feel like you're a person that just loves yourself, and you know that you're awesome. You know that you're an amazing person. And that's the biggest thing. You know, it takes people a while to do that. Like it takes the people to be like, you know what? I am something. I am important, you know. And I feel like you have a good lock on who you are. Like a lot of people don't know who they are. And I think you have a good lock on who you are, man. Like you are, you know, like you said, you can go many different directions, from psychology to how you believe in Buddhism to like the foods that work for you. And like you said, try it. If you don't, then that's how you find out. But it works for you. You know, you're not saying like it's gonna work for everyone. It's like, it worked for me. I tried it. So figure it out. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. Like be who you are. Right. And that's one of the biggest things that I think that we have similarities. I'm like, whatever makes you guys happy, do it. Like we're like you say, we're here for a good time, you know, not for a long time. Like that's how I live every day, man.
That's what I wanted to say. That's a great way to start off what I was going to get into. We're here for a good time, not a long time. Would you rather be here on this short point in time, putting up a character, a face because the way you are on the podcast isn't the same way you are with April, for example. The same way you are with your wife. The same way you would be if you got in trouble with a cop. The same way you would talk to a judge if you were going to court. The same way you were. Everyone's putting on a character. Everyone's putting on a character, and that's normal. That's actually normal. I think manipulation is normal. Like for example, when women put on like makeup and stuff like that, they don't really look like that. You know what I'm saying? Guys fucking buying Camaro cars and it's like they can barely pay their own fucking mortgage. They can't even pay child support. You know what I mean? It's just part of manipulation. It's normal. I'd say. I think that the world is no longer. It's not just survival of the fittest. It's the survival of the most finesse. People who can like imitate. People follow. For example, people follow like the Kardashians. I honestly don't know what they do. I still don't know what they do, but it's just perception. Basically, it's huge right there. But one thing I wanted to tell you guys, basically, my social hack, my social approach, and how I learned like so much like different ideas. So I basically match energy or match vibe. You know, wherever the person's at, if I can go 0 to 100 and the person's at like 40, I'm at 41. Like, what's the point of going? I'm gonna overload them. People get nervous and they're like, you know what I mean? Just stick to where they're at. But it's funny to me how most people don't even know much about me. And I always say no one cares about Rich. No one cares about Rick. No one cares about Young Wine. Everyone is selfish. Everyone cares about themselves. So when I talk to you, I'm going to talk to you about you because the most things you know about is about your experiences and what you're going through and what you're thinking. So I just talk to a person about them. And we become so cool. We become awesome. Like, oh, he's a good listener. He's a good guy. And I'm like, you don't even know anything about me. All I did was talk to you about you. You're basically put the mirror to your face. You know, it's like, and you're comfortable with you because you did with you the whole time, and you put that you on me, and it's like, but I'm not. So people are like, you think, and then when I'm like doing my regular life and bringing people along, they're like, you make music? You trade the financial stock markets? You do TikTok shop? You're a content creator? You make like what? What? It's like you don't know anything about me because I talk to you about you. So when I go, that's why I can't do like clubs or like big old like drinking things because like I'm not learning you. I don't know who you are. You're just putting up a face and trying to be cool for the environment. It's like I don't know who you are. I don't want to be in this life a short time and not be genuine, not be authentic. That's why I like ever since I was younger, younger kids always gravitate to me because I'm much more authentic. Like the kids have yet to learn social like politeness, the social mask. The kids don't know that. Like us adults, we can do that, and I can do that too. But I'd rather be genuine and authentic, and that resonates with them because they have yet to learn the social dynamics and how to like present themselves. They don't know that. So when I'm like when adults, I'm just like, hey, yeah, I can talk to them the way they want to talk to. But I'd rather just be like how do you really feel today? You know, or let's talk about you. Like, what have you been up to and stuff like that. What matters to you? What gets you up in the morning? That's what I do. And what learning all these details and all the other stuff that I showed you guys from part one and part now, you know, all the things I know about. It's like whenever I go to like a social interaction for me first meeting a person for the first time, most people are skewed by the possible opinion of someone else. What they think about me. I hope they like me. I don't know what they're like. I'm nervous. I don't show up like I hope they like me. I show up like I hope I like them. Because if I like them, then they can rock on my circle. My circle's tight. My circle's short, small, but my circle's like I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. Quality over quantity. I'd rather be me, be authentic with myself, and have people around who can do that too, who want to do that too. So we can build together. We can grow. It's very collaborative when we do our business stuff. It's very collaborative. I help you, we help each other because if you win, I win, you win. You know, if I have a dollar in my pocket, you have a dollar. Basically, type stuff. So that's how I approach my social dynamics, social interactions. As I'm like, dude, like you don't really know who I am. You don't even care who I am. Let's talk about you, what you up to. And you tell me your whole life story. And I'm like, just downloading that whole information. It's like, oh, this person responds off of this. This person is like kind of like that. They're very emotional, you know. And that's why I have people who have their heart in their sleeves. That's why me and Juan's always crying and complaining. You know what I mean? He's always telling me his problem. He's always being authentic and genuine. That's why me and him always connect so much. Same thing with Anna. Anna's like, if I either do three things, it's either music, it's travel, or it's content, making videos. Juan's music, Anna's travel, and then I myself content. And just basically, I collaborate with everyone else with that stuff. And that's basically the pillars right there. That's the whole pillars right there of what makes up Richie. Hey, what's up? But um, that's why like that's my approach to social interactions. What do you feel about that?
Pretty much the same boat, man. Like I know that you and Anna go to like different cafes. It's kind of like you guys' thing, but it's the same. I don't have a big circle of people. I don't. I think I think I put it on the family chat. I always say a private life is a peaceful life for me, and it's very. I guess it's very cautious who you open your arms to. Like I got to make sure. For me, I'm a person that I have to make sure that they understand. Like if I rock with you, I rock with you. Like I'm not gonna like turn on you or whatever, and like be like, oh well, this person's this. That's why a lot of times when like families arguing, I'm like, I don't care. I don't get involved. Whatever. Like if I'm cool with Richie, I don't care if Richie's fighting with Juan. Like, I don't care. I'm cool with both of them. We'll just talk at different times, right? Um, I just feel like that's the purity of things for me. Like I rather, like you said, rather have four quarters and 100 pennies. Shit. I don't even think I have four people that I can literally drop everything. And be like, hey man, like life or death situation. Um, like I know that like maybe I have like two to three people that I can like legitimately like I'll be like I'm on my way, but it's been a lifetime of them being there and constantly like hey, on your worst of worst days they're there to be like I got you. One of them it's my friend Nestor. I was like I said, I was over almost close to 300 pounds. He was the one guy. I was like, yo, man, you might not care about you, but I care about you. So every day he would come, work out with me, start walking with me. All like he rocks with me, right? He's the one person that I can go maybe 2 3 years without talking to, and when I call him, it's like we just talked yesterday, right? Um, that's probably the only person outside of family that I would say is like family. Like I can literally call him like, "Hey, bro, my anniversary's coming up," and I met him through an ex. So it's like it's crazy. Like we became through an ex. So it takes a long time for me to be like I can trust that person. I want that person to trust me, and to have around like my kids and because that's another thing. Like with Olivia, Olivia's crazy. She's her own character, her own world. She does her own thing. Um, and like to for me to be like my mom's like leave her here like nah I'm cool like I don't want to do that like I don't think but at the same time I don't think she would want to do that like she's at her grandma's right now, she's at April's mom's house, but the only reason she goes over is because they eat root beer floats together. So I'm like really, like a kid's gonna be a kid. Like do you want to go stay with someone or you want to go where they're gonna pretty much cater to you, right? um and that's how I think a lot of people are. They just are afraid to admit it. Like you said, you just listen to them talk. Like a lot of people are gonna go where they're catered to. Like, am I gonna go somewhere where they're gonna expect something out of me, or I'm gonna go somewhere where they're gonna cater to me? That's and people try to say they're not like that, but they are. Everyone's gonna be like, what benefits me? How you were saying, what's in it for me, right? Um, the difference is though, I think that we as I think a lot of us in our family we will, and I think I learned it from my uncle, my Tio Vico. He wasn't the richest person. He wasn't about religion. He wasn't, you know, but he will give you his shirt off his back. He would help the neighbor. He would blood, sweat, and tears. He wear that in he his heart. You could just feel his presence, right? And the people like myself and Alina and who actually got to grow up around that, I feel like I understood from a young age. Money doesn't make you because a lot of people in my neighborhood respected my uncle, even though he was an alcoholic. But they knew Hey, can you help me paint? Boom. Hey, can you do this? Boom. Like he wore his heart, you know, on his sleeves to help everybody else. And what I saw is some of our family like, oh, he's a drunk, oh, he's this, oh, he's that. But what I also saw when we went to go visit him, my mom be like, oh, here, this is this 12 package from David. Is we're feeding into his addiction instead of being like, hey, let me help you. But then when they get sick and they go through all of that, that's when the waterworks starts and the tears start and what we should have done, we should have. It's like, no, like you guys should have. Like you guys should have just done it. Like be smart. And I think our generation learned from that. And that's where I learned from if I saw anybody in the dumps, like if I knew that someone was going through alcoholism or whatever it is, I think that I'd be like, yo, man, like let's find, do you want to get better? Because if you don't want to get better, then you don't want to get better. Do you want to get better? If you do, let's see what we can do to help you, right? But I think that we got that from seeing our generation. Like my tío Marcelino, he almost killed me with an axe in Nogales, you know, at my grandma's house, because he needed his fucking heroin, and he was asking my grandma for money, and she locked, and in her house it was all blocked, and she had that door that was like all made out of metal. He was hacking that with the axe, and he tried to go in through the side, and you know it wasn't that he was a bad person; he was an addict, but he was a fantastic artist. So I got to see his art. He's the one that taught me how to iron my clothes. Like I learned a lot from our uncles that I'm like, y'all did a lot of bad stuff, but you guys were amazing people, you know? And that's kind of like how I see, like my mom would tell me, like, when you're 15, you're gonna up in dead or in jail, or you're this and then that. Like, you think all this bad stuff about me, but at the end of the day, like, I think I've helped a lot of people. I'm like, and that for me is like cool. Like, you could think whatever you want. I'm gonna continue to help people. And now she's like, oh, out of all my kids, you're the one that put tape in my mouth and you shoved me up. And I'm like, I didn't do it to prove something to you. I'm just being me. You didn't allow me to be wild and crazy and free and do whatever. Because I never did anything bad. I just wanted to play basketball and then hang out. Like I didn't. It's not like I wanted to commit crimes and murders and. But she saw it that way. And I'm like, no. Like I learned from my uncles, my tío Sergio, my tío Javier. We used to play basketball. I used to fall. He'd be like, if you cry, you're a little girl. Like you're like you learn these things and you're like, I'm not gonna cry. So then when you do fall and you do go through hard times, you remember those things. You're like, I'm not gonna cry. I got this. I'm gonna get back up. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. But here's what I'm trying to say is like a lot of people want the benefit for themselves. And I think that some of us in our family, like you said, like I did the menudo, you were the first one, bro. You started posting shit, you started do like you see the benefit of like if you come up, I come up. And it's not like we grew up together or any of it, you know. But it's just like, yo, like that's fam, like let's see what we could do. Same thing with Marcel. Like Mars was like, yo, like boom, 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 and I'm like, that's dope, right? Because like you end up having a lot of similarities with people that you're not really that close to. Like me and Moo, I was like, yo, I got that shirt too. Or like, oh, I got that too. And like you just figure a lot of similarities that people have, and it's because of I guess our generation, like our families. Like my mom, your mom, they all lived together at one point. So that carries on. But I think that we just have that unique thing that once we accept you in our family, we're going to treat you like family. You don't got to come into my house and ask for this. Like, no, like, you're family. Like, I don't care what people say. We're going to make fun of you like family. We're going to pick on you. We're going to harass you. But we love you. And if you ever go through that hard time and you have the privilege to join our family, we might all be spread out all over, but I guarantee you, like, we will get together and make sure that you're taken care of. Right. Which that makes me so proud to be like, yo, I have a dope ass family. I think that's why I am the way that I am is because of all the good and the bad that I've seen. And I want to share that with everybody else.
I believe as you grow older, you make your family. Ever since I was younger, I was able to distinguish there's blood relatives and there's family. There's some blood relatives that I haven't seen in years, and I wouldn't lose sleep if I never saw them again. You know, my older cousin Charlie, for example. I'll say it. I say it. Like I haven't seen him in a long time. If I never see him again, I wouldn't lose sleep on it. You know what I mean? But some people in the future that's like who join your life, they are impactful. They do align with you. That becomes family. That's a difference right there. And our aunts and uncles, I commend them a lot, dude, because a lot of the common stories that I hear from their stories, because we ask about their lives, like, hey, how did you meet this person? Like, I wasn't there for that. Just paint me the picture. What was it like? From your experience. A lot of it is like their mom, our Nana Paula, was very abusive. She had to be. She was very abusive. So that gave me the space to like forgive, like your mom, for example. Like, my mom wasn't very mad, very mean to us. She was opposite. She was very caring and warm. But like the closest resemblance I have to being mean was like maybe your mom, for example, because she would yell at you guys and yell at not at me, but yeah, like Juan and everything. Then I'm like, what's your problem? Let's relax. But that doesn't justify them acting that way. However, understanding how to become a mother, you learn how to become a father from your father example. You learn how to be a mother from your mother example. So they are the way they are. And that explains to me like my mom like always treated my sister like very poorly, but her mom treated her very poorly. She doesn't know how to show love to her daughter. But her mom, Nana Paula, would cater to her husband, her men, her husband. So my mom, she takes care of the boys. And when it comes to my mom, she's basically chopped liver. And I know it's rough, and I hate to get that. It's hard to get that mentality out of my mom. But another avenue I try is explaining that to Yvonne. I was like, remember how abusive her mom was? That's where she learned how to be a mom to you. And it's nothing personal to you. It's just she doesn't know any other way. And you have to come with compassion to help her get out of that condition. But my sister lacks the patience to do that. And, you know, it is what it is. But a lot of our uncles and aunts and uncles grew up in that same situation. That's why a lot of them left. Why did you leave when you were 15 years old? You see what I'm saying? So you relate a lot to our uncles and everything because you went through that. You downloaded so much experience from them and like because they were basically you. You know what I mean? So I hope you can step out of that and realize that's what's happening. And as it's happening, you can grow from there, right? That's another benefit of meditation and learning these NLP techniques to like take yourself out of the situation and get like an unbiased view of what's happening and an understanding to help you clear your own shit up and help you get out of your own way. Because a lot of things are not your fault, but you still learn from where you learn from your environment. And that gets downloaded and inherit and you basically repeat those habits. Like people who grew up with alcoholic parents and abusive parents, they end up like being abusive parents. It's a cycle. And learning how to be able to break that cycle is is a life goal. It should be a life goal at least. But again, I have to preface it with we're here for a good time, not a long time. Do what the fuck you want to do. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I'm not a life coach. This isn't advice, all late, all late. But anyways, yeah, so just knowing that is gonna help you so much. I really want you to continue to do meditations, dude. I think that would be helpful for you a lot, so you can see things from a different perspective and be able to like just like for me, it's like I know where you. For me, the way I use it is like I know where you're coming from, but I don't see you getting out of your own way or wanting to get out of your own way, and I can help you as much as I can, but I can take you to the water, but I can't make you drink. That
Right.
decision is up to you. And if you don't want to do it, then you don't want help. Then I don't want to waste my healing energy on you because in order for me to, I have to protect my energy because I can heal people and I can like give them to everybody else. But I don't want to waste my time with somebody. It doesn't benefit me to waste time to make someone try to drink if they don't want it.
Right.
I'd rather give it to somebody who's ready, like the proverb says, like an Asian proverb. It's like from someone from Asia. When the student is ready, the master appears. So if I'm wasting my time with you, I could be helping someone else, and that person can make and that ripple, like you throw a rock in the water and it ripples, that'll extend down the family tree. Down their family tree, that'll expand down there because now they have a new mindset that they can present to whoever their social circle is, their social circle is, and it'll benefit them. You know, because you don't have to heal everybody, but you can heal someone that can heal someone else,
Yep.
and you just basically go down that chain. But
Yep.
there's a but,
I like the Bruce Lee reference, by the way. The ripple pebble, like that. Do you know that was
but
a Bruce Lee reference?
No, I just knew that. I just know I gotta make you understand, and how do I best make you understand? If I give you like a visual to think about, you hit a rock hits the water and it ripples, the effects of it all, like it just basically goes outwards. Just paint that picture for people who are like, oh, that does make sense. It just an natural and added. Because I'm a storyteller, I can paint you a picture. I'm a wordsmith. I don't know if you guys know that I rap. I gotta say, but yeah, that's part of that. But um. What else were you gonna say?
No, I was just say that's actually one of my favorite Bruce Lee quotes. With the pebble in the water, bro. But yeah, man, like I said, I think that as you do get older, especially like with me, you do get to like I'm at the point now where I see people's values instead of their devalues, I guess you could say. Like I could say like my mom, as you said, she was very abusive, blah, blah, but I was like, she was a hustler. She could go make $5,000 in a day. Like, I see that. I was like, she had a third grade education and fucking came over here, and made it happen for herself, where she lives a great life. Like, I learned that, I think, from the age of like 17 on. Like, I don't care about your negative stuff, right? I think I said in my first podcast, one of my favorite rappers, DMX. Trust a snake to be a snake. Trust a thief to be a thief. If you let them in your circle, eventually the snake's gonna bite you. You can't be like, oh no, you can't be mad. You trust a snake to be a snake. A thief is gonna steal from you. Eventually they're going to steal from you. And I think that I learned to set that aside. Like with my uncle, he's an alcoholic. Yeah, but he was a musician. He made his own music. He could sing. He loved the Beatles. He loved to sell. He loved to do this marketing. That's where we picked that up from. He's not a. Oh, I saw that you have this. Can we barter? Like, can we trade? Can we do, all that. I remember my uncle one time had somebody fighting at my mom's house because they had a yard sale, and he said that that was Michael Jackson's bed. He found that bed in the alley, fixed it up, cleaned it. He's like, oh, I used to clean houses, and this was actually from Neverland. And he had two families fighting over that bed. The bed that he had no money for. Promise you, bro. No, he sold that bed. Back then, it was a lot of money for like $1,500, $1,600 because it was Michael Jackson's bed. It was hilarious, bro. Like, just to see that, like my uncle, I said he was a junkie. First person to introduce me to Michael Jordan. His daughter, he called her Michael Jordan. My Theo Marcelino called his daughter Michael Jordan. I used to live here. We used to live in apartments. He played basketball. We didn't know that he was high half the time, because we didn't. But like I said, he was an amazing artist. People don't know that he could draw his ass off. He was super clean. He taught me how to. So I started looking more of like what they brought to me to help me grow as a person than what people would judge them for. Like my Theo Chapo, Marcia was at my mom's and he started saying, "Hey, I didn't know." And I told him the whole thing. He's like, "How'd you know that?" I'm like, he said the story one time. I'm like, he said the story one time. I was like 10 years old, and I never forgot that story. I'm like, because when he said that story, everyone looked at him as the pastor. And when he said the story, what really happened and why he turned to God, I was like, that stuck with me. I'm like, because it proved that even somebody with the level of crime that they did, that they were about to do life, that can actually, ask for forgiveness and get it and devote himself, like there has to be something that does exist, right? For some reason, me and him, we just don't see eye to eye. But it doesn't mean that I don't respect him and I don't know that he's not my uncle. It's just Like that's amazing that he was able to do what he did, right? Change his life around. But there's just like you said, there's some people that if I don't see them again, I'm like, you know. But doesn't mean I don't learn from them either. Like doesn't mean that they didn't show me a value. My tío, one of my favorite uncles is my tío Javier. That dude, like for me, I hear story, oh, he's an uncle, but the love that he has for you is unconditional. I can go years without seeing my uncle. He sees me, he hugs me like he did when I was 8 years old. You know, oh David, oh come here, like, you know, and it's like you can't teach that. Like he just has like he's a great father, you know. He's a great person. That's why when he had his knee surgeries, I did his therapy. I never charged for that. I was like, I got you, you know. But that's the thing. Like I've learned to take people's values and be like, I don't care about your negative shit. Like I'm tired of letting negativity get to me. I'm tired of negativity trying to work his way in, right? I'm like, I want to see what you bring, what value you bring to me. You know, like what value you're bringing to me that I can be like, yo, I know I can call Rich and he do me a video right now. Like that he'll bring his drone out, we'll get this video popping, you know, and it'll be good to go. You know, and be like, yo, Rich, here's this, or hey, I'll treat you some pho. You know, like whatever. Like I have to understand these type of things, bro, and I think that's the biggest thing about like me learning to find like what I wanted and then what I want to make myself feel better. And I'm like, yo, our family is demented, crazy, but I wouldn't trade them in because they all bring the same value, bro. Like I think like your mom, all of our moms, like my Nina, everyone, we they all treated us different, but at the end of the day, I don't think that there's one parent, including mine, that wouldn't put their lives on the line for any one of us. You know, and that's the biggest thing that I've taken away from it. Like all the beatings and everything that I went through, like all the scars and everything. I'm like, yo, I still wouldn't trade it because I understand that, like you said, my mom's trauma is different. And until we understand her trauma, then we could be like, oh shit. You know, and one of the biggest things is I want to be able to have that sit down and I want a podcast with her and be like, tell everybody like your trauma, you know, because till this day she tells people that her leg got messed up in a car accident when, you know, we know that's not true, you know, but that's the thing. Like, I need her to be able to speak her truth, you know, and to be able to do that, like, be able to sit down and be like, we were in anger management together, me and my mom. And it sounds funny now that we're older, like, mother and son, anger management classes, you know, but maybe it helped, maybe it didn't. But I'm like, I don't know, there's other families that, like, yo, me and my kid were both in anger management classes. Like, you know, it's weird, but like I said, I think that understanding her and how she got Alfonso was kidnapped and the whole story, and you know, my mom, my tia Elena's original baby daddy had pulled a gun out on my mom one time. Like, there's a lot of things that people don't understand, right? And I didn't understand. You know, like I was always that kid, like she'd be like, "Oh, you're just like your dad," and be like, I don't know who my dad is. You know, when I was younger, I was like, this is my dad, you know? Like, cool, I'm like my dad. No, like your real dad. I'm like, who the fuck is he? You know, don't be saying that. I'm like, okay, you could die tomorrow. You know, or like I was just that kid. Like she'd be like, oh, you're acting like an animal, and be like, well, only animals could have animals, so what does that make you? You know, like I was that kid, you know, to be like, and she'd be like, what you call me, you know? But I've gotten to the point, man, where I got lashings that Judy took from me, my dad took from me, where my mom got to that point where broomsticks and wigs and I'm fucking pots and you know all this and they took lickings for me, man, and to be able to have them express that and to be like, yo, no matter what, I still believe that my mom would do anything for me, you know, and I think that she would go to the ends of the earth for me, you know, but it was just a time of in her life where she was trying to do the best she can. I think now with Olivia, I realize that we're just trying to do the best we can, you know, and like me, when it comes to disciplining her, like I've realized I don't have to like hit her or scream at her. I'm just like, yo, I'm gonna take what's valuable to you. You know, your ice cream, your toys, or maybe I'll be like, I'm not reading you a story until you do this. Like that for me is like, okay, I know she wants a story, so she's gonna behave, right? And like I told her, I'm like, you see this? Nana did that. Why is she so mean? And I'm like, it wasn't that she was mean. It was that, and I'm like, I would never do that to you, but I need you to know that me and you can have a conversation about anything, right? Because April's like that with her mom. So I got even to learn that. They talk about everything, bro. If me and her get in a fight, her mom knows. When I got surgery, bro, dude, when I got surgery, I promise you, bro, there's nothing I wouldn't do for April's family, dude. Like when I got surgery, her mom came and yelled at April. She was like, "You better not have him over there trying to clean the yard and doing that and that." Like, bro, like I was like, "Whoa, whoa, like chill." No, you need to recover because you are important to this household. Like, you need to recover. You need to get better. She's all like, "How do you think your daughter's life would be without you in it?" And she's all, "You are so important, bro." I almost broke down in tears, man, because I've never had that type of love. Like where she's just like, you better feed him like, dude, I was on the couch and she brought stuff like on my bed. She brought like handles and shit. I'm like, the fuck? But it was new to me that and April and her have this conversation. Like they talk every day. If April's having a bad day, she's gonna call her mom and talk about anything, bro. Like, and I think that that's something that I don't have. I can't call my mom and talk to about everything. I can be like, yo, mom, I fucking hit somebody in the face with a bat. Like I can't. You be like, well, you know, like, but she can, bro. Like, she could talk to her mom about everything. And like my mother in law, her April's sister lives there, and she she's able to count on her mom. Like it's just weird to see that side of it. And that's how the girls are. The girls can talk to April about anything. They're not afraid to talk to their mom. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna do that with my daughter. I want her to be able to talk to me about everything, and for me to be like, there is gonna come a time a point where she's gonna fuck up. She is gonna mess up. That's for me to say that our kids are never gonna mess up. That's stupid. You know, I understand that there's a day they gonna fuck up, and it's gonna be up to me to be like, it's okay. We all fuck up, right? And like I was telling Judy, I'm like, you can't try to correct whatever my brother is doing. All you can do is support what my brother's doing. I'm like, I'm so tired of people trying to tell people how to live their lives. I'm here to add value to my brother's life and be like, yo, bro, I got you. Like just come talk to me, whatever. I'm like, then instead of trying to change his direction of what he wants to do. Because my brother tells me, yo, man, I want to open up a fucking grass farm. Great. Do your thing. Let me know what's up. Like, I'm not gonna be like, well, why? You gotta do it. No, I'm not here for that. I'm not. I'm not here for to correct your life. I can probably correct mine. Like I'm not. I'm not. I want to be of value to people. I told Judy the same thing. And she's like, my mom over here saying like Eddie this and he's not doing. I'm like, who gives a fuck? It is your household. It is you. I'm like, stop stressing. Stop. I'm like, Eddie's a great guy. I'm like, stop stressing. Stop letting that shit eat you alive. He's a good guy. I see it. He does whatever for you. Like, it's okay. If you tell him you want to fucking build a pool in the back, he'll start digging it. Like, you have to understand that people are always gonna. If you allow them into your negativity, they're gonna take full advantage of that. They're going to. They're gonna be like, well, hey, well, is he still doing this or is he still? I don't do shit. I just work, pay the bills. You heard it. Bad food's ready. What do you want to eat? I could ask for anything to fucking eat and she'll make it for me. I get sick. I'm in bed. She don't, here's medicine. Like, boom, I got you. I don't do shit. So when she says, hey, can you go remodel? Of course. Because 90% of the time, I play Xbox. Hey, the food's ready. Do you want a burrito? I want to bring it to you. Breakfast, hot dogs, pancakes, whatever. What do I got to complain about? Right? But if I start saying, yo, man, like, I got to like beg her for food and what are people going to decide to do? Oh, why you with her? Blah, 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 blah. It adds more toxicity. Right? And I'm like, I have it made. Like, I have it to where I'm like, all I got to do is provide, pay the bills, and live my best fucking life I could possibly be. That's it. I don't, that's it. You know? And I'm like, what did I do to deserve this? And then I'm like, wait, what did I not do not to deserve this? Like, I'm balling the hell out. I'm going to, like, we go to San Diego, we have a good time. And like, we go to Disneyland, Universal, like, we do what we want to do. And the one thing that she always tells me is, I don't care. She's like, I don't care about missing things out because I'm with the people that I love, which is her kids and me. And we will never go on a vacation without the kids, just me and her. We try to go to dinner without them. And I was like, it's kind of boring. Like, should have brought the kids, just because that's all we know, bro. That's all we've known for the last 10 years. Like, plus, like,
I
it's just boom.
Two things I want to say is I cannot wait for the podcast with you and your siblings. I can't wait to see if you guys will open up. I know Fawn will be cool, but I don't know about Julie. I don't know her that well.
I think
She
Judy's
don't.
going to take some time to open
Yeah,
up. But
yeah, probably. I know.
once she does, I think that she's gonna get a lot of
Relief.
things out. Yeah, a lot of things out, and I want to shoot that podcast, man. I talked to them about it. I did, and I told Juan, I'm like, you better get your Kleenex ready because I know there's gonna be a couple touchy subjects, and vice versa, man. Like I want to be able to talk to them and be like, look, like me and Juan, like I left when I was 15. We're 6 years apart, so we didn't get to have that brother interaction, right? We didn't. But when I was there, I'd buy him movies. We would go to Blockbuster. I would buy him pizza. Like I was like, yo, I was a good brother while I was there. But because of other people's decisions, we didn't have that connection, man. So I want to talk to him about that. I want to talk to Judy about like we spent like 5, 6 years without talking to each other, just because I wasn't fucking with my mom and them at the time, um, and like, I want to let them know that like me not being there for them was not because I didn't want to. It's just I didn't know how to approach it. I was still young. I was 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I didn't see Judy again until I was like 22. And talked to her about that story. And bro, it was cool because we went to go see a movie, and we literally were like, "I will catch the next one. I will catch the next one," because we went to go eat at Native New Yorker, and we were just talking, man, having a great time. People thought that we were on a date. I'm like, "No, that's my sister." I was like, "No, that's it's my sister." But we're like, "Oh, we'll catch the next one. We'll catch the next one." Dude, like 3 hours later, we're like, "All right, we gotta go to the movie now because it's the last movie that's gonna be showing." And but like I want to talk to them about that and kind of be like, look, like no matter what, there's nothing that I wouldn't do for my brothers and sisters, right? I talked to Ye yesterday, to Yesenia. I talked to her yesterday. And I'm just like, I think that as I get older, I start realizing like I missed a lot of their lives because I had that ego of like, fuck them. Like not them necessarily, but like my mom and them. And that's one thing that I was like, I want to take back, right? And now I get to talk to my brother every day. I get to do all that and kind of get that back, but I do know that he feels like we left him. Like I do know that, like I feel that like he feels like he got robbed of his love and his support from his siblings, right? Like I feel it, and I understand that. But all we can do now is be like, yo, man, no matter what happens, I'm always gonna be here for you. Moving forward, like whatever happens, you can get in the worst fight in the world with my mom. It's not gonna change. I got your back, And I think that it's important for them to hear that and to have them understand that Like no matter what happens, I'm want to be there with them, and I want to create that, but I think they have a lot to get off their chest, and it'll be a great podcast, I think. Um, but yeah, man, that's something I do want to do, and I want to do it with them together because I think they'll open up more like together if they were together. Because I mean, if there's a 6 year gap between me and Juan, there's an 8 year gap between Judy and Juan. And Judy's always been a mother figure to me, so we just have that. But I don't think Juan had that. Not with Yeah, definitely not with Alfonso. So like I feel like he missed out on that, man. Like Judy used to fight people for me, and like she made sure I ate, she made sure I was good, like we walked to school, like and I think that in a way it's like it wasn't his fault, right? It wasn't his fault, but I feel like he feels that way. I feel like he feels like, man, like I I'm not the same, like I'm not like David, I'm not like Judy. And it's like, nah, bro, you're a lot better than that. You were the first, like between me and him, he was the dad first. Like bro, like you had to grow up quick, and you're still learning how to do that, you know. But like he calls me sometimes, like, hey, do you know where I can do? I'm like, bro, there's Google, just Google that shit. But I'm like, wait, never mind, I'll do it, because it's just like that. I got you, little bro, right?
Hmm.
And it's like I want him to remember that, like I want him to like to remember, dude, when I was around, I took you with me to go play basketball. I took you. Then my mom used to leave, we go to Blockbuster or Hollywood Videos. I'll get whatever movies you wanted. I got a pizza for me and him one time, dude. It didn't fit in my car. We had to put it on the roof of my fucking car. Like that shit was huge. It's like fucking $40 pizza, bro. And we only ate like 3 slices. But it didn't matter. Like, and I want him to remember that. Like, yo, when I was there, I held you down. Like I was like, that's my brother. I played with you. I'm like, and I need him to remember that. Like it wasn't your fault. And I think that if he hears like, yo, it wasn't my fault, it wasn't your fault. But we're here now, I think it's gonna be good for him and for Judy, to be like, yo, we're here now. Fuck what happened, But there was a long time that we didn't talk to each other, man. Very, very long time. Mostly my fault.
I want to be maybe a episode of me and Juan because when you were gone during that time, I was still there, and me and Juan grew up together. So patching in those little patches of time, I could probably help fill in those gaps and get those insights. But the second thing that would be cool, but we'll get to that eventually. But the second part I wanted to go to was I can't wait till well, I've met April, but I can't wait to like get to know April because you're like, you guys are similar. You guys find deals and just think about things differently. And it's like, I wonder, because I don't know a person like me. I don't know what that means, because I just deal with everybody else. I don't really deal with myself, basically. Like, I don't know a person like me, for example. So that'd be cool to get to actually know like her background and how she grows up and similarities, non-similarities, just different. Just her mindset would be interesting to figure out or to like learn about.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I learned from her is that being privacy, like that privacy, man. Like I learned that from her. Like she's just like, don't be afraid to say no. Like, don't be afraid to be like, no, I don't want to do that. And I do that with my work now. If I don't want to do it, I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. When you to fire me, fire me. Who cares? Like, that comes from her, bro. Like, she's like, just say no. Like, I remember the first time, oh, bro, the first time, but I was like, I need you to be here because I'm making you food. And me and her had just made plans to go. I think we were going to like, where were we going? I think we are going to like this Italian restaurant. I don't remember where we're going. She's all like, just tell her no. I'm like, oh hell no! Like ain't talking about no. She's crazy. She's all, just say no, bro. She got my phone. She's like, oh sorry, I can't go. I'm not going. She sent that, so I was like, oh shit. And my mom called me and was like, hey, no, I can't go. I got plans. But from that moment on, bro, I was like, if I don't want to do something, I'm just gonna say no. And I was like, this is so like dude, I think that's the best dinner ever. I was so excited. I was
Yeah,
like, I just told my mom no. Like it was
we
crazy,
call those
bro.
a breakthrough. Just breaking the pattern, you broke through that pattern and having that sense of like that liberation. of a habit or something that's like forced upon you to break through to the other side and have like your own free will, I could only imagine how like your life changed from that moment forward,
Bro,
and
it was
that being the
amazing.
epiphany.
It was an amazing, like, it was an amazing day, bro. But yeah, dude, that'd be dope. I want to have you and Juan on the podcast because you guys are always talking about the hot dog story, and it's just I think I always laugh with that shit. But I know
Fuck
that
you for bringing that up. Fuck you for I was having a great conversation, and now you're triggering my trauma. Nah, just playing. We worked through that. It's just a funny ass story that I can't wait for Juan. Because every time I tell that fun story to Juan, it's like never fails. That fool's gonna die laughing. It's a
yeah, I kind of want to see if
he
we can
turned
do it on a day that you could come over here, and we could probably like either sit on my couch or at his
dude.
couch.
The day we do a podcast in the same room, I already have an idea that I know you're gonna love, and I told you about that. And when we do that, you're gonna be like, "Hell yeah, Rich! I can't wait." But anyways, yeah, it's just like I always say, like when we're kind of saw me and Quan, I was like, I'm trying to turn your pain because it's like he can't sometimes he can't get a lot of times he can't catch a break. Like things are going well, and then shit will just fall for him, and it's like, dude, how the fuck did you fucking fumble that ball? But I was like another one outlet from us has always been music. And I was like, let's turn your pain into pop, because some people's feeling that way. Some people can relate to that, like feeling like the way you want to. And like the hot dog story is another example. I came from that. Like I was like, dude, you fucking dick, you know what I mean? And then we came to like now it's a funny ass story that I could always tell for the rest of my life. It'll always be our story. Like it's awesome to have like those people around that you always have that one story that'll always link you guys together, or like that one inside joke. Like that's how close me and Juan are. That's how close me and Juan are. That's so cool. And again,
Yeah,
fuck you for saying that.
I think the one person I had that with at one point was me and Martin. Me and Martin grew up together, right? And like when I see him, it's like the good old days, right? Um, Played basketball with them, I think last year or something, sometime last year, or the year before. I was like, for me, it was nostalgic, like nostalgic. What is it? That word, nostalgic, whatever it is.
Nostalgia.
Uh, that just because me and me and him used to play basketball all the time, and there was never a player that I used to play with that I'd be like, he's better than me ever. Like no matter, because I even played with Renee, Yvonne's ex. He was a great player too, and he was older
Great.
than me. He had a basketball court in his backyard, but I was like, I'm better. Like I've never played with somebody like he's better than me. But when I used to play with my cousin, with Martin, I used to see that fool just like glide and like smooth and levitate. And I'm like, yo, like to me. And when I got to play with them again, I'm like, I got to see a glimmer of that. But it was funny because the first time he got the ball, he fucking fell and rolled because he stepped over his fucking windbreakers.
I was there. Remember, I was there.
Yeah,
So I remember you telling me the stories, and then to experience it in real time, I was like, dude, that's was bananas. That was bananas.
yeah.
Well,
So for me, I got to see that, and I was like, I literally felt like watching like how I would watch like Michael Jordan or something like that. I would be like, that's my fucking that's who I grew up with. That's who I saw like because we had a gimmick. I was always a good shooter, so he would go and drive and do all this shit, float in the air, and then just throw it out to me, and I shoot it. So like having doing that, or he'll like glide and lay it up, like having to experience that again. I was like, yo, that's my motherfucking G right there. Like that is like I got so much joy out of just watching that at least one more time that I was like I'm complete now. Like this is my full closure that I got to see someone that I played so long with glide one more time. Like just cuz he would glide, bro. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like it looked like he was just like skating like on the court like and I'm like I got to see it one more time, right? Played with Joel. When I played with Joel, it's like I used to play with his dad, and just to like see similarities, I'm like, yo, man, like it's hard not to like. Joel told me one time, like, I hate when people compare me to my dad. I'm not my dad. I'm Joel. I mean, you are Joel, but god damn it, man, if sometimes you just don't. look at you like, oh my god, like spitting image, man. Like you're amazing, you know, like, and that's the thing, like for me, like I got the privilege to be able to be like, yo, I play with Jose, you know, I hung out with him, we had conversations, like I got privileged to do that, right? And to pay respect to that, to be like, yo, like I'm saying it because I thought your dad was a great man. Like he fixed my car. Like, you know, I got to associate myself with him. I'm like, and for me, like to see you play basketball, I'm like, I used to do it with your pops. That's crazy. Like stuff like that with Luis, you know, balled him up when he was little, balling him up now. Like just to be able to relive those things, like, and one of the things, like for me, like I remember a lot. I was like, I wonder, because like I was like, I know like Brenda and all them, like Brenda used to hoop, you know, and I'm like, but I remember like her dad used to hoop, and I'm like, I wonder if any of his kids like got that from him, like that ability to hoop. Um, but I don't know. Have you talked? Do you guys still see him or?
I've seen him. Not. It's been years since I've seen him, but that guy's still in good shape. I'm sure after a couple of, maybe a month of just training, I'm sure he'll still whip ass in basketball. He's like a contractor, like people who do roofing, like the roofing, how to like do the chemicals in the roofing to like make them last longer. He's not the person that does that. He's the person that from his business, he reaches out to other businesses for services to do that. So he sends a contract and he gets a chunk of the contract.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah,
he's a salesman. Yeah, he's that. So that dude's been doing real. He gets like a new Toyota 4Runner like every couple years. Always gone traveling. Like he's living good. That's a
yeah.
good life
Man,
right
that's
there.
dope. But yeah, like I said, man, I think the next one I want to have you and Juan on here. Moon wants to hop on. Cool. We can probably go to his house because he has that big ass couch. Sit down, maybe get some food, and just have a long ass podcast. And I know it'll be a long ass podcast. So, but I
Hopefully
just to
everybody
give you guys
nice.
shit, we're almost 95 minutes in, bro.
Wow, that shit
But
was crazy.
like I said, man, I want to. It's almost time for you to go to work. But I want to make that podcast, bro, and I would love to have you and Juan on the podcast and just give you guys the platform, man, to so you guys can talk about how you guys held each other down, man. Like I said, I think there'll be a good thing to be like, yo, like I'm pretty sure I'm gonna hear a lot of stories that I probably never heard before, so that'd be kind of cool. Um, but to give you guys both kind of the platform of like continuing to push like your guys' stuff, like his music and all of that. And I think it would be dope to have both of you guys together. I'll make hot dogs. I'll make some hot dogs for you
I'm done
guys.
here. I'm done. But I just want to wrap it up with again what we talked about the fruitarian diet, Dr. Yaki. Guys, please check them out. The herbal or holistic lifestyle. People are like, so you can just live better. What else did we talk about? You choose your family. There's blood relatives, and then your family. Make sure you can distinguish that. You don't have to love someone because you guys are blood relatives. Family and blood relatives are different. What else can we recap? What else can we recap on? What else can we talk
Workout,
about?
exercise, sleep, um, fucking just be you. Don't try to, be somebody else.
But I can't wait for next time. I can't wait for the first podcast to actually drop. We recorded one before, and I'm like waiting for it so I can do a video on it. Like, hey, watch my podcast. Blah, blah, blah. But I guess we'll catch that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, no, I'll catch this podcast. What's your podcast?
Oh no, Talk to Me on whatever podcast is me and my brother. But I was saying like our episode here on the miscellaneous.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's what I
yeah,
was talking about.
definitely.
I was still waiting for the first episode to drop. I'm on episode 2 already. I don't even know what I'm waiting to make my content video of like, hey, watch my video on my podcast. I joined my cousin's miscellaneous podcast. We talked about whatever. Okay, I was on professional shit, but I was waiting to do that. I was still waiting for the first episode, but we'll cross
No,
that
I'll be
bridge when we
coming
get there.
out. I want to drop part one, part two back to back, so people can just kind of have a rundown. Even though this one could probably use the part three because we're 100 minutes in.
Just keep going. Fuck it. Another hour. Fuck
Well,
it. Let's keep going.
well, like I said, man, maybe the next one, let me know when you come down here. As long as it's well, now it doesn't matter because that weekend's up, but I could always make time. But I would like to have like a sit down, man. We can go have a sit down and maybe make another type of video too while we're there. Maybe like a food video or whatever. Maybe create something while we're there, and we'll go from there. But all right, man. Thank you, and I know there's probably gonna be more episodes with y'all. And but yeah, man, I'll be sending you messages
Thank you all
shortly
for watching the
of when
Miscellaneous
I air it.
Podcast, Episode
Cool.
4,
See you guys next time.
Part 2 with
All right, bro.
Recognize. Stay
Peace.
tuned for future episodes. Much love.